You're listening to Behind the Bulldogs, brought to you by Ferris State Athletics.
Off the left side, to the end zone! Touchdown, Bulldogs!
If I'm even having like a bad day on the course or something, I just look down at it and just feel like thankful that I'm able to be out there.
Making sure that we're like where our feet are and we're not thinking about outside distractions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 3 of Behind the Bulldogs. It's Brandon Worth, joined as always by victorious this weekend Tatum Outlaw. We'll talk about that later, but I'm sure you're very excited from this last weekend.
Yeah, I am. I'm excited to talk about it.
For sure. So we'll get into the Ferris State Sports Slate, and we have obviously a great episode for you here today. We're going to be chatting with a couple of the women's soccer players. Annie Hartley, Lauren Kubacki are stopping by, and they were very excited to come on the podcast. So we can't wait to see their enthusiasm and all their great answers coming up. So you guys can stay tuned for that. Big thanks to you that are listening live with us on WBRN, as well as if you're watching live on Ferris Athletics on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow so you don't miss any episodes of myself, Tatum, and all of our great guests. And because we're going to have some great ones upcoming here the next couple weeks here. I mean, we've already thrown out 3 bangers for you by the time you've listened and ended this episode. So, I mean, the only way we can go is up.
Hopefully.
Right?
I mean, it's hard to beat the last one because they've all been so fun, but we've got some exciting ones coming up. So
we certainly do. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow. Without further ado, let's get into the Ferris State Sports Slate. We'll get to the win in Allendale in just a moment. But soccer, of course, as this is a soccer prominent episode, got some wins over the weekend. They took down Roosevelt, a new member of the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, by a score of 5-2. Some great offense, a couple goal scorers. And I think it's really good for this team, especially going through the gauntlet of the non-conference schedule. And I think it's really good for them to get back on the right foot and be able to get some wins in conference play against Roosevelt, and as well get a really big win as well coming up on Sunday, where they were able to beat Parkside by a score of 1-0 in a very defensive showdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. You know, they started off with a tough schedule, and I think it's only making them better. And I can just see it from like watching the energy, and I try to keep up with all the other sports teams as much as I can, but they're totally improving every time they step on the field.
Yeah, it's great to see, and especially for such a young group, which I'm sure we'll ask them, Annie and Lauren, about here in a little bit. But you saw some great goal scoring. Obviously, the forwards are really, really on fire right now. Seeing Autumn Burns get into the goal scoring column. You see Reese Carmody as well, taking her really hot start of the season and really putting it forward. The defense, I think, really stepping up in game number 2. That was a really big observation that I saw from that game. Playing against really tough non-conference offensive teams, it's really nice just to get that confidence back. And I mean, especially for you guys, I'm sure you can relate to this in volleyball as well. It just really takes 1 or 2 really good performances, and that strings together some confidence to get a run going.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, you know, it's nice to see some new and fresh faces making some great plays in the soccer team. As you said, they're a little bit younger this year, but the competition with them is still tight. So it's just cool to see new players, new names, new plays. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and especially with, now we'll get to it. We'll get to volleyball here. 5-set thriller in Allendale. You guys take down the Lakers, nationally ranked Lakers, and you guys move up yourselves to number 7, right? Number 7?
Yeah, big jump. We started at 19th a couple weeks ago, and now we're all the way up to number 7. It's always a great game. At GB.
That's 12 spots. That's a big jump. 12 big spots.
Jump. I didn't think we were going to make a jump like that for this week. I was thinking, maybe move up just like 1, but 7's a good place to be. Obviously, we don't think about the rankings too much, but they're fun to keep up with.
Oh, of course.
It's a fun game though at GB always.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was a great atmosphere from what we were able to see online and at the venue. Obviously, the penultimate set really makes volleyball at its best, as we know. But you guys got the win against a really good team that I'm sure that we'll see probably in the regional later on in the season. Yeah. And obviously they're going to come here, which is going to be even more exciting. Yeah. But especially when you really go back into Saturday as well, and you guys had to go off that night to Wayne to go play the Warriors, and you're able to do it in straight sets. I mean, that's really, I think, a testament to you guys, your depth, seeing a lot of those other players get in, especially later on in that contest, just be able to show the depth and that you guys are playing consistent good volleyball. Not just good, but consistently good volleyball.
Yeah, and Wayne State, obviously everyone's going to talk about the GB Ferris game, but like Wayne State always plays such a tough match with us every time. I feel like most times we play Wayne State at their home, it's always a 5-setter. So we just kind of expected them to play their best game with us. And so we just executed our scout and just did what we could. And then luckily we won in 3, but maybe don't expect that the next time because they're warriors, literally. So
literally, yeah. It's an appropriate mascot at the end of the day. So they certainly battle, and seeing a lot of the games over the last 2 years, you get the feeling with a lot of the programs that even if the record's down, they're still going to fight back. They're still going to be a resilient team, and Wayne is one of them. Yeah. And so that's a really, really good group of wins for you guys. Congratulations. I know you're really looking forward to going up north this weekend on the road. So we'll talk about that here at the end of the show. We'll get you the whole Ferris State sports slate upcoming, but also some great results for men's golf, finishing second at the UND Fall Invite. Coach Stark, especially after the Bulldog Invite here at home at Khaki, they were really emphasizing the short game. They want to be better at the short game. They finished third as a team, and they wanted more, and it was the short game when they lost some strokes. And so especially seeing them really getting up at the runner-up honors in second place, I think really just goes to show that this is a really good group. And even though they lost a couple of names at the top, they still have a lot of depth. And it kind of feels like we're saying it on a broken record. A lot of these teams have great depth, which is great. And it really goes with golf as well. They have some great depth at the top for men's and the women's as well.
Yeah, I think what makes a great team is when you have depth like that and you're able to switch people in and out. I know personally for volleyball, that's a strength of ours, is being able to make subs and, people going in and out, and it's making the pace of the game better. And I think that's what makes Ferris great, is that we've just got great athletes on the field, on the court, and on the bench as well. Yeah,
and even some that can play the other sports if necessary, basically. Hearing from Trinidad last week, playing basketball, it'd be interesting what Coach Bronx has to say. We'll have to bring him on to see.
Watch out in the future.
Might have to bring Coach Bronx on to see what he has to say about that. But especially as well, we didn't have football this weekend. Obviously, you guys will be looking forward to that this next weekend, American International on the road. And but it's a good thing for them to get a bye as well, just because of the fact you have a lot of these guys banged up from the first couple of seasons. Obviously, a war at Pitt State and Kansas, a couple of tough games as well. Physically, when you're talking about Lake Erie, obviously able to take care of business against Lake Erie and Ashland, but physical games nonetheless. So really important for them to get a bye and be able to rest up, and they'll be back at it again this weekend.
Right. I'm excited. They had this week off, not really off, but they're still
off in quotation marks.
No really
no games, but show goes on.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see how they do this weekend. They've been fired up and participating in this game, and I can't imagine taking a week off and then having to play again. So I just know they're ready for it.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird if you guys had a bye week. It'd be kind of just like going from 3 games a week to none.
We would get rusty so quick. I think even skipping one day, I get back and I'm like, why am I playing like this?
For sure. And we'll touch obviously on cross country here to finish it. As an alum, I have to shout out the women's cross country team for taking the win at Lansing Invite. You can throw up the W's back home. Really, really good win for them. The men's team as well, in a really good spot, finishing in the top 5. And you're seeing them, especially a lot of these individuals I've gotten to know, and you're seeing them really perform well. And a lot of them, this has really been a really tough journey as far as, physically. The health side of it, especially when it comes to running, people kind of know, like, man, it's a tough sport to run 24/7, 365 days a year. And so a lot of this group, especially on the women's side, seeing a lot of those older contributing individuals be able to really perform well, along with the youngsters that are still getting used to college racing, being able to take home a trophy. It really does feel nice. It may only be, a small meat trophy, but, you got to take the little things while you can.
Of course, small victories, they're still victories. I see them running around campus all the time.
That's all we do is just run.
I know. Yeah. It's consistent, but I see them around campus all the time. They're working hard. So I'm glad they were able to get that win.
It's fun to make the excuse, I was running late to practice. Wait, you were running to run?
Running late.
Is that how it works?
Practice.
Exactly.
We're going to run more. So.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to run more. We're going to run more. Anyway, so, but congratulations to all of our competitors. We'll obviously recap on next week, but especially with soccer coming off of 2 wins. It only felt appropriate we bring them in. So,
soccer goes on.
Let's bring on Annie and let's bring on Lauren and let's have ourselves a good interview.
Let's do it.
Now joining us here in studio, we have a pair of Ferris State women's soccer players joining us. We have Annie Hartley and Lauren Kubacki. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
So how's your day going at first? I know you guys have had a long weekend, a couple of wins under your belt. Congratulations. Just talk about being able to recuperate and just getting a couple wins under your belt, especially against a new team in the conference like Roosevelt.
Yeah, so it was a really fun weekend. We were on the road in Chicago and Wisconsin. Long weekend, but it was great because we came back with 2 wins, 6 points on the board, which is ultimately always our goal, and had a lot of fun together along the road. So I would say it was a good weekend. Happy to be back for our home game this weekend for senior day.
Yeah, we have Mondays off, so that was kind of nice just to have a day to relax, recoup, and then hit the ground running again Tuesday. And we only have 1 game this weekend on Sunday, so we have an extra day to practice, which is good.
Absolutely. What do you guys enjoy doing, especially on an off week where, or not necessarily an off week, but after games when you have a little bit of time to, kick back a little bit, you come back from a Sunday game, have a couple of days. What are some of the things that you guys do to, just kind of kick back and recover from playing soccer a little bit?
My Mondays are kind of busy because I'm teaching. So I teach all day Mondays, and then coming home, it's just like movies, TV shows. Like we watch a lot of movies together. We're roommates, so we're always kind of chilling. I like to play pickleball.
Ooh,
yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
My off day, I don't really have much class, so I just clean my room and get my laundry together. We've been doing a lot of puzzles at our house, so
that's true.
that takes up-
Puzzles?
We do
Yeah.
about a puzzle every 1 or 2 days.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. Are we talking like...
1,000 piece.
That's like
plus.
every day of the
Okay,
week,
so you're talking like puzzles.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
have no patience.
Yeah.
No, me neither. I'm
Is
like,
it
What
Yeah.
kick we're on right now. I
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
when we have a break from our homework, we're like, okay, puzzles, and we'll sit there for like 3 hours.
Oh. So you both are education majors, right? Tell me about that. What do you guys want to do with that?
Right now I'm in a 1st grade classroom, so I go and teach 1 day a week, but ultimately I think I'm aiming at 2nd grade, and I don't know where I want to end up.
Cool.
Maybe out of the state, maybe here.
Okay.
Right now I'm in a 3rd grade classroom, so I think I kind of want to do kindergarten.
Oh, yeah.
They have like a spot in my heart, I guess, but yeah, I don't know my plan really, but
Nice. You guys are roommates and the same major.
Yes.
And teammates.
we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
for sure. What drew you guys into the education major in general? Like, what got you the interest in, I want to be a teacher one day?
I would say I just can't sit at a desk, like sitting somewhere typing on a computer, not for me. I definitely have a more outgoing personality. I like to be like working with my hands, arts and crafts, like playing with kids sounds fun to me. So
Yeah.
I mean, puzzles, kiddos, it's a good
Exactly.
time right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely just I wanted to work with a variety of like ages. So like you have your staff and you get to work with little kids. I don't know. I love little kids, so that's
Yeah.
a big piece of it.
And you get to make an impact on them. Like, I'm sure you guys have
Yeah.
teachers and professors that make an impact on you guys, so you can do that for younger girls now. So
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. One of the questions that was brought up unintentionally before we launched the microphones is obviously Annie is a midfielder, Lauren as a goaltender. If you weren't in those respective positions, what would be like the dream position? Like, even you can pitch it right now to Coach Henson who's watching this. Like, give me my shot at this position.
Coach, I want to be a holding 9. No, I would be a forward at the top, so I don't have to run around too much, but I can just score all the goals. That sounds pretty fun.
Okay. Goal scoring is pretty fun.
Yeah.
It is pretty fun at the end of the day.
Especially since I'm like the opposite of that. So opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, you can see what the other side of the field is like. Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. What about you, Annie?
Weirdly, like center back. I feel like it's kind of
Okay.
chill, but like I don't know. You just get to pass the ball around, and kind of stand there and get a little break.
I mean,
Sounds nice.
sounds fun at least.
Center backs are gonna be
That's
like,
why
oh my
I sit
God.
with the back line the whole game.
that seems like my type of vibe for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do get a really nice view of the action. I mean, your
do.
center field, you can just chill out. Ball comes to you. Oh, yeah, we'll move it around. Perimeter passing. Cool.
Yeah.
Then 5 minutes later, then you can get the ball back.
Yeah.
For sure. So, but especially when it comes to getting more a little bit behind the curtain. Obviously, you guys are roommates, and obviously, you guys are education majors, which is crazy the fact that you can put those two together. But when it comes to things outside of soccer, what are the things that you enjoy in your half time? Obviously, you mentioned puzzles earlier, but even outside of that, if you're going home for the summer, what are the things you like to do to kind of get away from soccer a little bit?
I love to cook. I'm always cooking in our house, like baking and cooking like all the time.
I've got
She
a
likes
roommate
to
like
eat
that.
my
Love
food
it.
that I cook.
Yeah.
So we go well together. During the summer, I'm a big traveler, so I like to just save my money and go places. Well, not really save it for going places.
Yeah.
Like this summer I went to New York and New Jersey. Last summer I went out of the country, so that's big.
Where's your favorite place you've been to?
Probably last summer I went to Argentina and Brazil.
Wow.
wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah. I have a shopping addiction.
Me too, girl.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay it out there. So that takes up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
But over summer, yeah, I like hanging out with my family. I'm really close with my siblings, so.
Is there a favorite brand when it comes to the shopping sprees?
Right now, Amazon's a good go-to.
Yeah.
They have everything.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah,
Amazon
Zara's a good
cart stays
one.
full.
Zara, yeah.
Zara, good go-to.
All right. When it comes to what brought you to Ferris in the first place, everybody has a different recruiting story, looking at different things when it comes to the whole experience. What were some things that stood out about Ferris State and the point you were, I'm going to play soccer at Ferris State. This is going to be my dream and I'm going to go for it.
So my story was very different. I had a torn ACL and then COVID hit. And so that was my junior and senior year. So our coach really didn't even see me play in person until after I accepted my offer. But
Wow.
yeah, so I don't know. I liked the vibe. I liked the atmosphere. I came to a practice and it was really like cool to watch. Like all the girls seemed nice and I don't know. It just kind of took a leap of faith there, but it worked out and I love it here. I can't imagine myself anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lo said, like we're kind of COVID babies, like in the situation. So I actually never got to take a visit here. So that was interesting. I
either.
never
Yeah,
thought it
Tatum
would go
said
like
that too.
Yeah, I had like a virtual visit. It literally was just like the best pictures of the university.
Yeah,
online.
I'm just looking pictures up on Google. I'm like, looks good.
Yeah, I was like, but these are like polished pictures. Like, hopefully it really looks like this in person.
Yeah, is that tree still where it is like today? You know, it's like, it's just weird, you know?
Is the sun shining like there right now? Like,
Right.
This picture.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had talked to Coach Henson like a few times, and then I knew a player, Peyton Price, here, and I think I talked to her a little bit and just kind of put my trust in them and hoped for the best, and it worked out for me, so.
Well, I'm glad it worked out for both of you. It seems like you both took a leap of faith.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When it comes to the rest of your schedule, obviously a lot of seasons still left, but you guys were tested right out of the gate. You had some really good teams, obviously Cedarville, obviously Findlay, Ashland, really good teams from the region. Just talk about really the way that you guys play in those games and how it really prepares you for the GLIAC slate, which at the end of the day, obviously non-conference, you want to win those games, but conference, that's ring time, that's game time.
I personally think having those tough teams right out of the bat was like the best thing for our team this year. Not that there's really any easy teams per se, but playing some of those easier teams off the get wouldn't really have benefited us as much as the teams we did play, because it really highlighted stuff we need to work on, stuff we need to improve on, and also what we're doing well and what we can capitalize on. So I think it really was the best thing that could have like pushed us forward, and it's showing because we're finding success and we're improving every day. So I think that this season I really like the matchups we've had.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it also kind of goes along with our spring season. We play a lot of like hard, good D1 teams, a lot of good D3 teams, and like it's set up that way for us to like find success through that, and it just like prepares us for what our season's gonna look like going forward.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have such depth on your team. There's a lot of competition. You guys are all very good. What are your practices like? What's the atmosphere like?
So our practices are basically like a tryout every day. Like there's no one on our team who's like stand out better than the other or worse than the other, so to say. Like everyone competes every practice, and we never really know what the travel roster is going to look like when it comes out because everyone competes so hard, everyone gives their all, and it's really a competitive atmosphere every day.
It is, and it's exciting for, you don't make the travel roster, that it's not going to be like that every weekend. You have a next chance to go on Tuesday, and you get to grind every day and make each other better, and it's fun.
Yeah, I think that's the best type of atmosphere to have at practice too, because I think when it's tense like that, it just prepares you for games and it builds you up. And you're always working for something too. You can never be complacent.
Right.
That for sure. That sounds familiar. A team that's really young that has a lot of depth. I think volleyball might be in that mix too.
Maybe some would say that.
Yeah. But speaking kind of the depth, of course, obviously you both have been in the program a while. You're kind of now the leaders of this group. You're seeing a lot of the youth coming into the program. Just talk about being able to gel with them, especially in preseason camp, and now just being able to have a couple games under your belt with a brand new group.
So this spring, our focus as a team was really emphasizing team culture and team bonding and uplifting our freshmen and underclassmen as upperclassmen. And I think this fall we've done a great job, like I personally have my own relationship with every single one of the freshmen. Like, they're a great group of girls, and all of my teammates, I think I've built a great relationship with, and that's what we're striving for as a team, is to really connect with one another and just like be there for one another on a personal level and a soccer level.
For sure.
I feel like something we also talked about a lot in spring that we've tried to implement in the fall is that even though we're going to be fifth-year seniors, like, we still need to make connections. We have a season with them, or our seniors now have one season, but we still need to have that connection regardless that we're 4 years older than them. This is new to them, but I think we've really gelled with them, and we love them. We love our freshmen, and they're just really good girls.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. We'll leave you with the one last question we ask everybody on the show. Brace yourselves. This is a good one. What is your favorite thing about being at Ferris State and being a Bulldog?
Oh, wow. I think it would just be the athletic community. I think when everyone asks me, like, oh, what do you do at Ferris? Who do you hang out with? I'm like, well, we just have a great group of athletes, and everyone knows each other. Everyone's there for each other. Everyone's watching each other games, supporting each other, and it just feels like a community. I think that's my favorite part.
All right. That is also my favorite part. I mean, a lot of people do say that. What do you do in Big Rapids? I'm like, well, I have my team. I have a great group of girls, but then I also have volleyball. I have, like, just different connections you've made through sports, and that, like, gets us pretty far in a lot of things. So it's been good.
I would have to agree.
For sure. It's a common answer. It seems like everybody likes being in Big Rapids and the environment at Ferris State. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining us, and we wish you a best of luck coming up here this weekend. It's a big game.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Big thanks to Annie and Lauren for joining us on the show. Another great group of guests, Tatum. You're killing it right now.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see who's on next week. Well, I mean, we already know, but you guys don't know, so be on the lookout for that.
Secret.
But we'll leave with the Ferris State Sports Slate real quick before you get on your way. We got some really good matchups upcoming. It starts on the 27th, and that includes the volleyball team. You guys will be going to Michigan Tech. 6 o'clock game up there in Houghton, so good luck to you. And obviously, you'll be heading to the Barry Center there at Northern Michigan on Saturday. That's at 3:30, so hopefully get a win one night, get on the bus, get another win, and come home. And we'll see you back home on probably on Sunday or maybe late Saturday. I'm not sure what the itinerary is, but so those are the volleyball matches coming up. We also have football, as mentioned earlier, at American International. That's going to be a noon kickoff, not a noon kickoff, just so you know. There against American International over on the East Coast. And we also have tennis in the regional small college championships over at Davenport. So if you're in the Davenport area, go watch some of our tennis players. They'll be playing on Saturday and Sunday, we certainly hope, as well as maybe Monday. And then we also have women's golf. They will be on the road at the Beal Fall Classic, as well as the men's golf team will be at the Midwest Regional Preview Tournament. Those will both be on Monday and Tuesday. And then just out of the blue, just for kicks and giggles, you guys are going to be playing at Northwood on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's always just randomly thrown in there.
Just thrown in there for fun,
in our conference anymore, but we still find our way there somehow.
Yeah.
So they're looking good this year, though, so I'm excited.
Yeah, this should be a really fun match. And before I forget, of course, women's soccer will be playing at home here on Sunday, 1 o'clock. They will be playing the Davenport Panthers. Should be a really fun match. It was very physical match a year ago. We might expect the same, but it's going to be a really fun one. So be sure to get to the South Athletic Complex at the soccer fields over by the Rock, and you can watch some women's soccer, hopefully get a win, and extend it to 3 in a row in conference play. So it'll be really fun. A lot of great action up on deck this weekend, Tatum.
I know. A lot of great games coming up. Seems like most of the teams are on the road, so hopefully we can all bring home some wins.
Hopefully we get some wins here at Ferris State. We certainly like to do just that. Big thanks to everybody that makes this podcast possible. This whole broadcast and podcast, all the cast possible. Yeah. And big thanks to you guys at home. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow. Big thanks to Dezos Digital. And we'll see you hopefully same time, same day next week.
Yeah.
All right.
See you then.
We'll see you later, guys.